Thank you for joining us for a special KBRFradio.com video streaming production. Tonight's game is proudly brought to you by Otter Tail Power Company and your Otter Tail Power Company pregame show. Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard. Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show. Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region Healthcare timeouts. Ugsted Plumbing and Heating with your game time and temperature. Viking Cafe and Fergus Falls Apothecary with your keys to the game. Olson Oil Card Express and your Olson Oil Card Express postgame show. Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota player of the game. Nelson Auto Center and your Nelson starting lineups. Otter Tail County AIS Task Force. Liberty Business Systems. Service Food of Fergus Falls Monument. Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapy Incorporated. Otter Tail Coaches and FM Bank of Fergus Falls.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. We are live from Legion Field at D Lagoon Park, where today we have a doubleheader, Otter baseball here this afternoon. The Otters are going up against Detroit Lakes in the Central Lakes Conference matchup. Jason Retzloff with you here this afternoon, and Dave Bishop taking care of the duties on the live stream. Right here, we're on Channel 977 and streaming live on the Fergus Now app. And Otters coming off a win. They're 6-7 on the year. They're 3-6 in Central Lakes Conference play. After a 2-5 start, Fergus Falls has played some good baseball. They've won 4 of their last 6. And coming off a win on Friday, beating Minnewaska area 20-5. It was a 14-run first inning explosion for the Otters, as Levi King was the winning pitcher in that one with 5 innings pitched. He had 2 earned runs. Only 1 walk against 8 strikeouts in that one. The Otter bats were going. They had 15 hits in the game. Micah Johnson was 3 for 4 with an RBI. And then Isaiah Holmes, Levi King, and Hunter Powers each had 2 hits and 3 RBIs in the game. The matchup against Detroit Lakes, the Lakers are 1-13 on the year. They're still looking for their first Central Lakes Conference win. They are 0-9 in CLC play. Their last 2 games Thursday, they lost to Brainerd at home 13-8, and then lost on Friday to Sartell at home 21-0 was the final. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to introduce this afternoon's starting lineups brought to you by Nelson Auto Center of Fergus Falls. But first, let's have our Ugsted Plumbing and Heating time and temp. The time right now is 3:56 p.m., and it's a hot one out there today. It's sunny, windy, 88 degrees. The winds are blowing 20 miles per hour, and it's going to be blowing in today, coming in from left field, so that'll affect how far the ball travels here this afternoon. Quick break. We'll be back with our Nelson Auto Center starting lineups right after this.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food. Serving you best.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls and Grand Forks is your shopping stop for America's 3 favorite truck brands, Ford, Ram, and GMC. Whether you're towing, hauling, or just enjoying the open road, we have a truck for you. Half, 3/4, and 1 ton, there's a truck for every job. Stop and visit or shop any of our stores at NelsonAutoCenter.com. Nelson Auto Center, Fergus Falls and Grand Forks.
Of Fergus Falls. First for the visiting Detroit Lakers, 1-13 on the season. And leading off, the second baseman is number one, Griffin Lindbergh. And batting second at shortstop, number 5, Easton Reiber. And batting third, the third baseman, number 12, Cale MacArthur. Batting cleanup, center fielder, number 3, Alex Specht. Batting fifth, first baseman, number 19, Holden Riding. In the sixth spot, the designated hitter, number 7, Max Ducharme. Batting seventh, catcher, number 21, Corbin Crump. Batting eighth, right fielder, number 10, Mason Erickson. And batting ninth, center fielder, number 15, Zach Sweary. And on the mound for Detroit Lakes is number 2, Eli Hatch. For the home team, the Fergus Falls Otters. Otters winners of 4 of their last 6. They're 6-7 overall on the season. And leading off for Fergus Falls, the designated hitter, number 13, Logan Larson. Batting second, third baseman, number 1, Karsten Froning. Batting third, first baseman, number 16, Hunter Powers. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, number 7, Levi King. Batting fifth, catcher, number 17, Brock Sherman. Batting sixth, second baseman, number 6, Micah Johnson. Batting seventh, center fielder, number 11, Parker Tilke. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 3, Isaiah Holmes. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 2, Cam Wiedrich. On the mound for the Otters is a senior hurler, number 22, Isaac Ellison. Isaac on the season, 16 2/3 innings pitched. He's 1-0 with his record is 1-0, 10 strikeouts, 10 walks, a 4.20 ERA, and a 1.56 WHIP. And that is today's starting lineups brought to you by Nelson Auto Center on Highway 210 West in Fergus Falls. Mark Gulseth is the head coach of the Detroit Lakes Lakers, and Shane Tilke, head coach of the Fergus Falls Otters. Also, time for our Ugsted Plumbing and Heat. We did our Ugsted Plumbing and Heating time and temp. It's their Keys to the Game, sponsored by Viking Cafe and Fergus Falls Apothecary. And talking with both coaches, Shane Tilke and Mark Gulseth, before the game, they both said the key was defense. And Coach Tilke said when the Otters have hit the ball well, and when they've run into trouble, it's been catching the ball and making the plays sometimes has caught up with them. And if they can limit the errors, limit the free base runners for Detroit Lakes, they should be in really good shape. He said that the Otters, or Coach Tilke said that the Otters lineup is built around defense, which means they got a couple of good bats that aren't in the starting lineup as they're looking for defense, and then that gives them a luxury of having some good bats in some key situations possibly late in the game. Mark Gulseth for Detroit Lakes said a lot of the same things. He said number one, and really that's all he elaborated on was defensively. They got to limit the errors, catch the ball, and help pitchers not accumulate that high level of pitch count that can mount, especially in when you're looking at 2 games in a doubleheader. And protecting those arms. So both coaches stressing defense here on our Keys to the Game, sponsored by the Viking Cafe and Fergus Falls Apothecary. Viking Cafe in downtown Fergus Falls and Fergus Falls Apothecary. Well, one of our other sponsors for the game today is Midwest Printing. Midwest Printing, your local partner for quality printing. Visit Midwest Printing in Fergus Falls. And also thanks to another one of our sponsors, West Central Ag Air. And West Central Ag Air, your local Peterson Farms and LG seed supplier, and the right choice to defend your crops. That's West Central Ag Air. They're going through their starting lineups here right now. They'll have the anthem in a moment. And then we'll be ready to get going. The Otters will have a doubleheader again on Thursday against West Fargo. But they're going to play the national anthem, so we will take a quick break as well. You're listening to Otter Baseball on Channel 977.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Light powers your day. And with LEDs, every time you turn on a light, it's a chance to save. See how Otter Tail Power Company can help you save at otpco.com/LED.
What's the record for the biggest walleye? What's the record for the largest goldfish? Wait, what? Never release aquatic animals or plants into our lakes and rivers. Help protect our waters and native species.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Ugstead Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Ugstead Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Olson Oil Cart Express of Fergus Falls is your
And welcome back, D Lagoon Park. Otter Baseball here this afternoon. Looking forward to our first coverage of Otter Baseball here on Channel 977. We're also streaming live on the Fergus Now app. And Isaac Ellison, senior pitcher for Fergus Falls, taking his warm-up pitches. And Griff Lindbergh waiting, taking his practice cuts as we get ready to get things going. And talking with Coach Stilke before the game, he's leaning towards Micah Johnson. Looks like that's the plan right now, is to have Micah Johnson pitching in Game 2. But things can change, obviously, depending on the flow of the game and what is needed. Of course, the Otters have a doubleheader on Thursday in West Fargo, so 2 more games loom in 2 more days. So we'll see how it all maps out here. And we will have our next coverage of Otter Baseball next Thursday here in Fergus Falls. That'll be a single game with Perham coming to town, and that'll be a 4:45 pregame and 5 o'clock first pitch right here on Channel 977, streaming live on the Fergus Now app. Mark Johnson's going to be here covering that one. So a few moments away here from getting things going, and Otters, we mentioned, coming in off a win against Minnewaska area. They got off to a great start, 14 runs in the first inning, and Levi King pitched a very good game and ended up with a 20-5 win. And Otters looking to get to 500 and above 500 if they can get a couple wins here today. It's senior day here, senior night or senior day, and Isaac Ellison is ready. And here comes the opening pitch of this doubleheader, and it is a little bit low in the dirt. And at 1 ball, no strikes. Griffin Lindbergh, the second baseman, is the leadoff hitter for Detroit Lakes. Batting .208 on the year with 3 runs and RBI, .615 OPS. And that one is in there for a strike. So it's a ball and a strike here with Isaac Ellison on the mound for the Otters. And he winds and delivers, swings chop foul down the third baseline, right up against the Detroit Lakes dugout. And now Ellison works ahead in the count, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Isaac, 10 strikeouts in 16 2/3 innings pitched this year. And here comes the 1-2 pitch, and that is fisted foul again. And 1 ball and 2 strikes is where the count stays. Eli Hatch is on the mound for Detroit Lakes here this afternoon. And here's the 1-2 pitch. That one is high, maybe a little bit outside. So the count evens at 2-2. And Ellison winds and delivers. And that one is chopped foul again. So Lindbergh staying alive. He's been able to fight off some good pitches here. Fouled off 3 pitches in this at-bat. And the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned it's a windy day. It's hot and windy, 88 degrees, wind blowing at 20 miles per hour. And here's the 2-2 pitch. And that fouls straight back into the net. 4th foul, pitch fouled off here in this at-bat by Griffin Lindbergh. The second baseman mentioned the wind 20 miles per hour, and it is blowing straight in from left field. So anything in the air, to especially the left center field, is going to be held up here today. And Ellison with the 2-2 pitch. That one is low and away, and now the count goes full to Griffin Lindbergh, the leadoff batter for Detroit Lakes. And the 3-2 pitch on the way. And that is a check swing, bounce towards short. It's picked up by Weidrich across the diamond, and the Otters get the first out of the game. 6-3 the put out. Weidrich to Powers over at first base, and there's one down. So good job by Ellison hanging in there. Good job by Lindbergh forcing the count full after he fouled 4 pitches off. But the Otters do get the out, and it's Easton Reiber now at the plate for Detroit Lakes, the shortstop. Here comes the pitch from Ellison. Ground ball right side. Powers. Oh, it goes under his glove, and it's scooped up, but unable to cover after missing the grounder was Powers, and it'll be a base runner. Easton Reiber is on. That'll be an error on Powers over at first. And there's one of the keys to the game that popping up that Coach Stilke talked about. Defense is going to be big. And Otters get an error here to allow Reiber to first base. That'll bring up Cale MacArthur, statistically the best hitter for Detroit Lakes. And the pitch, and there's a chopper foul, left side third baseline, and it's 0-1. MacArthur, the third baseman, 270 hitter. He's the only Laker with a home run on the season. He has 1 home run. He scored 7 runs and driven in 5 with a 784 OPS. So thanks so much to both coaches, Gulseth and Tilke, for providing us with some statistics for the games here today. And it's 0-1, runner at first, 1 out, top of the first, throw over to first, and Reiber gets back. Reiber on the season has 2 stolen bases. See if the Lakers are looking to be aggressive on the base paths here. And MacArthur at the plate. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. Runner on the move, and that is hit and run, and he knocks it foul. Kind of a off-speed, maybe a curveball there from Ellison, and it's now 0-2. So Ellison gets ahead of MacArthur here. And Ellison trying to pick up Powers there after that error and that ball off the bat of Reiber. And it's 0-2. Ellison takes a look over at Reiber at first and comes to the plate. And that's in there for strike 3. He got MacArthur looking. Good one. Now they throw back down to first, trying to maybe pick off Reiber. Reiber gets back, but a strikeout. And a good pitch there by Ellison. That's his 11th strikeout of the year, first of the game. And batting cleanup is Alex Speck, the center fielder. 2 out, runner at first. And the ball throw over to first, and it gets by Powers, and hustling over to second base is Reiber. So, a couple errors here now as a wild throw from Ellison. Powers couldn't scoop it up. And with those couple of errors, Reiber gets to second, and Detroit Lakes has a runner in scoring position. With 2 outs here in the top of the first. No score on our Park Region scoreboard. And Ellison on the way to Speck. Fouled back into the net. And no balls and 1 strike. Otters infield, Karsten Froning at third, Cam Weidrich at short, Micah Johnson at second, Hunter Powers the first baseman, and it's Brock Sherman behind the plate, and Isaac Ellison is on the mound. That one's outside. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Outfield, Levi King is in left, Parker Tilke in center field, and Isaiah Holmes in right field. It's a more shallow left field with a wind blowing directly in from left field. And a 1-1 pitch coming from Isaac Ellison. Swing chopper to third. It's picked up. Froning across the diamond. Throws right on the money, and the Otters work around a couple of errors in the first inning. And it's no runs, no hits, 2 errors, and 1 left on base. And we're on to the bottom of the first. It's the Lakers 0, and the Otters coming up. You're listening to Otter Baseball on Channel 977 and streaming live on the Fergus Now app.
Olson Oil Cart Express of Fergus Falls is your one-stop shop. Propane tank refills? Check. Diesel for your trucks? Check. Gas, propane exchange, and bulk delivery? Check, check, and check. Olson Oil Cart Express, supporting Otter sports.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. From Friday night lights to buzzer-beating shots, these students inspire us all. Just like them, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community, one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
Ellison works around it, and no runs in the first inning for Detroit Lake. So the Otters are coming up, and it is Eli Hatch on the mound for Detroit Lakes, and the Otters will lead things off with their designated hitter, Logan Larson. And Eli Hatch on the season. He's 11 2/3 innings pitched. He's struck out 8, 0-2 on the year with a 6.60 ERA and a 3.0 whip. Those are Eli Hatch's numbers here, as he will be the starting pitcher here for Detroit Lakes. So Logan Larson, the lefty, will be stepping in to start things off for Fergus Falls. Logan, well, he's done a nice job table setting this year. He's scored 14 runs. In fact, he's tied for second in runs scored on the year for the Otters. He's batting .270 with 14 runs, 6 RBIs. He has a .696 OPS. So Logan, Levi King leads the Otters in runs with 15, and then it's Logan and Hunter Powers with 14. And the runs leaders for Fergus Falls. Well, one of our sponsors, thanks to the Minnesota Motor Company. Dings and dents happen. Contact the body shop at Minnesota Motor Company to get the kinks worked out. That's Minnesota Motor on South Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls. All right, designated hitter Logan Larson steps to the plate, try to get things going for the Otters in the bottom of the first. No score here on our Park Region scoreboard. And Eli Hatch is on the mound for Detroit Lakes. And here comes his first pitch of the game, and that's outside, a little bit low. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. So both coaches talked about defense as being a big deal today. Otters were able to work around a few defensive issues in the first inning. We'll see how DL catches the ball. That one's in, almost hit Larson. It's inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Logan, the senior, designated hitter. Lefty, and here's the pitch. That is popped foul left side, hustling over third baseman, and it's just out of play as Cale MacArthur ran over to take a look, and it went about 10 feet across the fencing down the third baseline. And it's 2 balls and a strike now to Logan Larson. And here's Eli Hatch with the wind and the pitch. Check swing, and that's in for a strike. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Larson trying to get on base, get it going for Fergus Falls. Here's the pitch. That's way out of the zone. And that'll bring the count full, kind of an off-speed pitch that never had a chance to get in the strike zone. So the count is full on this opening batter of the game. On deck for the Otters is third baseman Karsten Froning. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing, and that is fouled. Left side into the parking lot. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count still, and Logan Larson steps in once again. And here comes the pitch from Hatch. And that is up in the zone, and that is ball 4. And Logan Larson does his job with the walk. So Otters have the leadoff runner on, and Karsten Froning now coming to the plate. Karsten Froning, the senior third baseman. This is game 1 of a doubleheader here. The Otters and Detroit Lakes. Otters trying to keep playing some good baseball. 4 out of 6 here coming into this one. And Larson is on the move, and here's the throw down the second. The throw is wide, and Larson hustles in and slides into second base safely. And the Otters have a runner in scoring position. Give Larson his 3rd stolen base of the year. And it's a ball and no strikes here to Karsten Froning. And Hatch to the set. He squares the bunt, bunts it foul right side. And we'll bring it to a ball and a strike. Frowning on the season, batting .222. He's scored 10 runs. He's driven in 11. .653 OPS on the season. JV going game on as well as we speak across the way, and that one is fouled back right over our heads. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Karsten Frowning. So the Otters bench, they got some guys. Coach Tilke said that they have guys that they could bring over from the across the way if need be. So their bench a little more thin now, but they can bring some people over from the JV game. There's a fly ball short right field. Hustling in and making the catch in right field is Mason Erickson. And that'll be a short fly out for Karsten Frowning. First out of the game for the Otters.
First baseman, number 16, Hunter Powers.
And I'll bring up Hunter Powers, a lefty first baseman. What a great statistical season Hunter has had so far. He leads the Otters in batting average with a .524 batting average. And here's the pitch to Powers. And that is popped up high in the air. It's in the infield. Well, is it going to be in foul territory? Catcher comes over, backpedals a few, and Corbin Crump makes the catch. So that's a big out for the Lakers to get Powers on that first pitch. Pops out pretty much right in front of home plate. And Larson has to stay at second base. So that'll bring up Levi King. Levi, the left fielder. And Otters trying to get their runner in scoring position home and not strand that base runner here, as the Lakers also had a runner at second as well before they were retired. First pitch is outside to Levi King, and it's 1-0. So Hatch delivers to the plate. And that one is low, maybe a little bit outside, and it's 2 balls and no strike. King on the season, .293 batting average. He leads the Otters with a pair of homers, 15 runs, 6 RBIs, an .887 OPS. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's low, and it's 3-0 with catcher Brock Sherman on deck. Yeah, Levi, he leads the Otters in runs scored with 15. Leads the Otters in homers with 2. 3-0 pitch coming from Eli Hatch. And that does catch the outside corner for a strike. And it's 3-1 to Levi King. So Logan Larson walked to lead off the game. He stole second, but then a short fly out to right and a pop out leaves us with 2 outs here as King bloops it right side down the right field line, and it is going to be just foul down the right field line. So Larson will head back to second. And now the count will go full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Larson at second. Got to second with nobody out after the stolen base, but then a short pop out to right field and then a pop out right in front of home base by Hunter Powers. So it's runner at second, 2 outs, bottom of the first, no score. Detroit Lakes and Fergus Falls, and Levi King is at the plate. Here's the pitch, swing ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. And they're waving home. Larson misplayed out in center field. Levi King's going to hold it first, but it's going to be an RBI single and a big hit for Levi King going right up the middle. Hard hit, bounced off the mound up the middle, and that'll be an RBI single for Levi King. So a big 2-out hit for Levi. As Logan Larson comes around to score, adds another run. Logan's 15th run scored of the year. And it's 1-0. Otters with the lead here in the bottom of the first. King is at first. And at the plate is catcher number 17, Brock Sherman for Fergus Falls. And the pitch, Levi King on the move. Throw down to second base, and it gets by the second baseman, Lindbergh. And King with the stolen base. It was backed up nicely by Specht in center field. But King now in scoring position. Levi, that's his second stolen base of the year. Otters with a pair of steals here in this first inning. So another opportunity with a base hit to possibly put another run on the board. And Sherman, it's an 0-1 count. And here's the pitch. That's high. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Sherman batting .405 on the season. Only 1 run scored, but 11 RBIs and a .970 OPS. Right-handed batter. The pitch and pop down the right side, hustling over Erickson, trying to make a play, and did he catch it? Yeah, he misplayed it, bobbled it down the right side. Could barely see it here, but couldn't quite make the play, and it's going to be a long foul ball, and it'll be a ball and 2 strikes now coming up to Brock Sherman. That was one that looked like, well, maybe it might stay in fair territory, but that wind is going pretty hard in from left field, pushing everything from left to right and pushed it into foul territory, and enough for Erickson to be thinking about that fencing over there and couldn't make the play. So here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's outside. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brock Sherman, the Otter catcher. Levi King takes his lead at second base. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing, line drive, left field. That's down the line. That's going to be fair, and that's going to be extra bases. Levi King is coming in to score, and hustling into second base with an RBI double is Brock Sherman. And the Otters are up 2-0 here on our Park Region scoreboard. Couple big 2-out hits. Timely hitting by Fergus Falls. Also, nice job by Larson and Levi King to steal bases to get into scoring position, allowing them to score on those hits. We got a pinch runner, a complimentary runner for Sherman out at second base. We'll try to figure out who that number is out there in just a moment. And first pitch is in there for a strike to Micah Johnson, second baseman for the Otters. Looks like the pinch runner is Casey Cole, the senior. And here's the pitch to Johnson. Micah takes it up and in, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Micah batting .400 for Fergus Falls on the year. He scored 4 times, 7 RBIs, a 1044 OPS. Excellent OPS for Johnson on the year. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Foul tip, I should say, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. That flag out in left field whipping in at consistent 20 miles per hour and gusting plenty higher. And Eli Hatch comes to the plate and foul tip into the glove of Corbin Crump. And Micah Johnson goes down swinging, but the Otters pick up a couple runs. They get 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Otters take the lead 2-0 on our Park Region scoreboard. This is Otter Baseball streaming live on the Fergus Now app and right here on Channel 977.
To never miss a play. You'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Light powers your day, and with LEDs, every time you turn on a light, it's a chance to save. See how Otter Tail Power Company can help you save at otpco.com/LED.
What's the record for the biggest walleye? What's the record for the largest goldfish? Wait, what? Never release aquatic animals or plants into our lakes and rivers. Help protect our waters and native species.
Sherman, and 2-0. Fergus Falls with the lead. Senior day here, as the Otters in between this in between games in the doubleheader are going to be honoring the seniors. Got Karsten Froning, senior Levi King, Jonathan Dent, Logan Larson, Brock Sherman, Isaac Ellison, Casey Cole, and then manager Abigail Gronwald as well. They're all going to be honored here, and congrats to all of them being honored today on senior night, and for all the years and contributions to Otter baseball. So we'll see if the Otters can put another 0 on the board, leading 2-0. Isaac Ellison's first inning had with his inning, no earned runs, no hits, no walks, and 1 strikeout. And his first pitch, ground ball to second, scooped up nicely by Johnson, over to first. Good play, and that's the first out. That was to the hitter on that one was Holden Riding, and he's retired 4-3. Micah, nice little play there, kind of an in-between hop towards second base, and able to to scoop it up, even if he was handcuffed a little bit. So one down, one pitch, one out. That's what you like. And it's Max Ducharme, the designated hitter for Detroit Lakes. And the pitch from Ellison. Fastball is low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. So Ducharme, the designated hitter, 1 out, nobody on. 1-0 count here from Isaac Ellison here in the top of the second. Popped up foul right over our heads, over the press box, and out of play. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Max Ducharme. Corbin Crump, catcher, is on deck for Detroit Lakes. And Ellison comes with a 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, took maybe a little bit off of that one, and it's a ball and 2 strikes to Ducharme. And Isaac Ellison ready and delivers, and that swing and a miss, he struck him out. Good pitch there, and got Ducharme swinging. So Ellison gets the first 2 batters. And with 2 outs and nobody on, catcher Corbin Crump comes to the plate for Detroit Lakes. And Ellison winds and comes to the plate. That one is sails way high, goes to the backstop. And it's 1-0 to Crump, the catcher. Crump batting 105 on the year, 1 RBI, 419 OPS. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. A little late on that fastball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Isaac working fast here, comes to the plate. Swing popped up, foul territory. Powers coming over, but it's out of play down the first baseline. But Ellison is now ahead in the count at 1-2. Top of the second inning, Otters lead at 2-0 on our Park Region scoreboard. Pair of runs in the first inning, pair of 2-out runs. And Crump steps in. Ellison looks in. 1-2 pitch is on the way, just off the plate. Oh, no, they gave him the call. Strike 3. Yeah, it wasn't a real definitive ring up there for strike 3. But Isaac will take it. Caught the outside corner on that fastball. And a couple strikeouts in the inning for Isaac Ellison. He's got 3 now, 3 strikeouts in the game. And no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. That's a 1-2-3 inning. And we go to the bottom of the second. Fergus Falls 2, Detroit Lakes nothing. This is Otter Baseball on Channel 977, streaming live on the Fergus Now app.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Otters Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Otters Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Olson Oil Cart Express of Fergus Falls is your one-stop shop. Propane tank refills? Check. Diesel for your trucks? Check. Gas, propane exchange, and bulk delivery? Check, check, and check. Olson Oil Cart Express, supporting Otter sports.
Isaac Ellison has not allowed a hit or a walk. The only base runner reached on an error in his first 2 innings. And we mentioned before, first inning, Levi King with a 2-out RBI single, and then it was Brock Sherman with a 2-out RBI double. A couple runs are able to come in. And the Otters here in the bottom half of the second will have Parker Tilke, Isaiah Holmes, and Cam Wiedrick coming up to bat against Eli Hatch. Hatch in the first inning, 2 earned runs on 2 hits. He gave up 1 walk, and he struck out 1 in the first inning. Well, Minnesota Motor, one of our sponsors for the game today. And if your windshield needs replacing, contact the experts at Minnesota Motor Company. They're located on South Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls. So Parker Tilkey's going to step in. He's the Otter center fielder. Try to get on base to get things going here in the second inning. It's Eli Hatch on the mound for Detroit Lakes. Parker batting .207 on the year. He's scored 10 times. He's driven in 8. .627 is the OPS, and he's ready to go. As is Eli Hatch, who winds and delivers the first pitch of the bottom half of the second, catches the outside corner for a strike, and it's no balls and 1 strike. .28 pitches here so far for Eli Hatch as we start the second, bottom half of the second. There's a hot smash. Takes a tough hop, and that goes over third base. That's fair. Rounding first on his way to second is Parker Tilkey, and he's going to cruise into second base with a double. That was going to be a tough play down the third base line there for MacArthur, but it became irrelevant when it took a bad hop, popped straight up in the air over his head down the third base line, and it's a leadoff double for Parker Tilkey. So he starts the Otters inning at second base, and that'll bring up Isaiah Holmes, the right fielder for Fergus Falls. So Isaiah stepping in, runner in scoring position already here in the bottom of the second. And he turns the bunt, lays it down, goes down the right side, and that's going to do the job. He'll be thrown out, but heading over to third is Parker Tilkey. Good job by Holmes, bunting down that right side. Took kind of a big hop. Pretty easy play there for Hatch, but he flipped it over to first baseman Riding. And it'll be a sacrifice bunt for Isaiah Holmes. That gets Tilkey to third. And Cam Wiedrich, junior shortstop, steps in for Fergus Falls. A runner at third, 1 out. Bottom of the second, Otters lead at 2-0. Here's the pitch to Wiedrich, and that's popped up, and that is in the infield. It's going to be in play now. Backing up and unable to make the play is the pitcher Hatch, and Wiedrich is going to get a high pop fly. Oh, was it? Well, now Wiedrich's. Oh, it landed foul. Okay. I got caught up. It was Hatch who overplayed it. He came back into fair territory, but the ball landed just foul. I thought it was going to be a high pop single for Wiedrich as Hatch didn't get his glove on it. Now, the wind is blowing 20 miles per hour, so that is going to be an issue all day, but it ends up being a strike, and it's no balls and 1 strike. And the pitch to Wiedrich. There's the suicide squeeze, and coming home easily for the run scored. Great job by Wiedrich laying the bunt down. And the Otters manufacture a run here in the bottom of the second inning. And that'll be a sacrifice bunt and an RBI for Wiedrich. And coming around to score is Parker Tilkey. So well done by Fergus Falls there. Parker Tilkey leads off with a double. Holmes bunts him over. And then it was Wiedrich with the bunt, whether it was the suicide or the safety squeeze. It was a perfectly executed play and an RBI, and the Otters now lead at 3-0 on the Park Region scoreboard. Logan Larson takes the ball, and it's 1-0. And here's the pitch to Logan. Ground ball, chopped second base. Lindbergh coming over, scoops it up, throws it over to first, and that'll end the second inning. But a good job of the Otters, I mentioned, manufacturing the run as they get 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're on to the third inning, and the Otters lead at 3-0 on our Park Region scoreboard. Back with more Otter baseball after this.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet. full cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Scott DeBrito. I had the privilege of wearing the Otter uniform. Today, I have the privilege of representing FM Bank here in Fergus Falls. Show your Otter pride with our Otter debit card. Stop in and see us or visit our website at mybankfm.com.
What's your number?
I drove 113 miles.
And I drove 124 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Bunt over to third, and then the squeeze with Cam Wiedrich. Getting play on the bunt, got Tilke in to score, and it's 3-0. As Erickson steps in, here's the pitch from Ellison, swing and a miss, strike one. Mason Erickson, the right fielder for the Lakers, batting .227, 1 run, 1 RBI, .488 OPS on the year, and the 0-1 pitch. That's there for a strike. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Ellison, just off the plate. And that'll be a ball and 2 strikes. I'm pretty much straight behind home plate here, and it did look just a fraction off the plate, although the outside corner has been given here throughout. And that one's way outside and gets by Sherman to the backstop. But no base runners, doesn't matter. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Isaac Ellison comes to the plate and catches the inside corner. That was a beauty by Ellison, and he gets his 4th strikeout of the game. Took a little bit off of that one, caught the inside corner, started in on the batter, came back in and caught the inside corner of the plate. So 1 down, and Zach Sweary is up, left fielder for the Lakers. And there's a foul ball on the first pitch off the netting. Bounced perfectly right back to catcher Brock Sherman. And it's 0-1. Sweary, .227, 1 run, 1 RBI, .488 OPS. And that one catches the inside corner, so it's 0-2. Ellison really looking good. 4 strikeouts already in 2 1/3 innings, and is looking for a 5th as he's ahead in the count. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fisted foul down the right side off the handle, and the count will stay at no balls and 2 strikes. Zach Sweary at the plate, left fielder for DL, and the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. There's 5 strikeouts for Ellison. And quick 2 outs. And come back around to the top of the order. It's Griff Lindberg at the plate. Lindberg is 0 for 1. He grounded out to short to start the game. And Ellison with the pitch. Foul ball. Back behind the plate. And no balls and 1 strike. So 0-1. Lindberg ready in the batter's box. Chopped towards third. Scooped up nicely. And across the way. And it gets by first baseman Powers. And hustling over to second is Lindberg. So Froning made a nice play to scoop up the chopper, but his throw was low. And Powers couldn't come up with it. So that'll be the 3rd error of the game for Fergus Falls. Still no hits given up by Ellison. But that'll give the Lakers a runner in scoring position. So E5 on that one. And Easton Reiber at the plate now for Detroit Lakes with 2 outs and a runner at second. Grounded foul. Went right by Coach Gulseth down the 3rd baseline. And no balls and a strike. Reiber, he reached on an error in the first inning. Error by first baseman Hunter Powers. He was stranded at second. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Blowing away in the dirt. Dug out nicely by Sherman, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Through 2 2/3, 38 pitches so far here for Isaac Ellison. Looks over to second. Now he comes to the plate. inside. And it's 2 balls and a strike. 3-0. Fergus Falls with the lead. Bottom of the third, or top of the third, excuse me. And it's 2-1 to Easton Ryber. Ellison comes to the plate. And that is low. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Ellison hasn't walked anyone yet. In fact, he is, I don't know if he's been behind on any type of count significantly. This is the first time he's been behind. It's a 3-1 count. And Ryber at the plate and the pitch. That's in there for a strike. A little check swing, but it was right down the pipe, and it's a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lindbergh is at second. He reached on throwing error by Karsten Froning. And Ryber at the plate and the full count pitch. It's on the way, and that is outside. Looked like Isaac tried to put a little extra heat on that one and just got away from him a bit outside. And that's the first walk of the game for Ellison. So the Lakers with a threat here. First and second, 2 outs, and they have their best hitter at the plate in Cale MacArthur. MacArthur struck out looking in the first inning, but he's the top hitter for Detroit Lakes at batting .270. 784 OPS. Here's the pitch, and there's a blooper into right center field, hustling over and able to get there in time and make the play with a running backhand catch is Isaiah Holmes. Good play by Isaiah, and the Detroit Lakes threat is thwarted here in the third inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. Otters lead at 3-0, and they'll be coming up at the bottom of the third inning right after this.
Business systems can be frustrating. Don't take it out on the printer. Let Liberty Business Systems simplify the chaos. With automated printing services and flexible contracts, you'll never feel frustrated or stuck with your business systems. Liberty Business Systems. Transparent, flexible, fearless.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Otters Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Otters Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. From Friday night lights to buzzer-beating shots, these students inspire us all. Just like them, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community, one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Detroit Lakes, through his 2 innings, he's given up 3 earned runs on 3 hits, a walk, 1 strikeout. And the Otters are going to have Karsten Froning, Hunter Powers, Levi King due up here in the bottom of the third. Well, Minnesota Motor Company is a sponsor, and they have trucks. Contact the sales team to get your truck today. That's Minnesota Motor. They're located on South Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls. So coming to the plate will be Karsten Froning for the Otters. And Karsten's 0 for 1. Short fly out to right field his first time up. And here's the pitch from Hatch to Froning. And he swung through that one. Curveball, and it's 0-1. Froning, a .222 hitter coming into the game on the season. And the pitch. There's a well-struck ball to right center field, hustling over. That's going to find the grass, and that's in the gap in right center field. Froning hustling to second. He's on his way to third, and Froning is going to have a leadoff triple. The throw gets by the cutoff man, but Froning will be right there at third base. And Karsten Froning with a leadoff triple to the gap in right center field. And the Otters in business right away to start the bottom of the third. And that'll bring up Hunter Powers. Powers 0 for 1. He popped out to the catcher his first time up. He's got a RBI opportunity here. He's got 8 RBIs on the year, looking for a 9th, and that one is, the first pitch is low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Powers, and that's a fly ball to center. Under it, making the catch is a center field tagging. Now the throw to the plate, and safe at the plate as the ball gets by catcher Corbin Crump. And it'll be a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Hunter Powers. Carson Froning comes around to score. Otters up their lead to 4-0 on our Park Region scoreboard. So sacrifice fly, the 9th RBI on the year for Hunter Powers. And Levi King to the plate. This is where the Otters had some clutch hits in the first inning, clutch 2-out hits, as Levi takes it outside for a ball. After Logan Larson walked and stole second, couple quick outs, and the Otters looked like they might strand a runner, but Levi had an RBI single. And that one's outside, 2-0 to King. Levi had an RBI single in the first to get the Otters on the board. He stole second, and then Brock Sherman had an RBI double after that. That accounted for the Otters' 2 first-inning runs. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Levi King. A little bit off speed, and that's high, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Yeah, Levi got ahead 3-0 last at bat, ended up going full. Then he had that good smash up the middle for an RBI single. Here's the pitch to King, and that one is low, and a 4-pitch walk to Levi King. So Levi on base both times in this game. And Brock Sherman now coming up. So Brock had a big RBI double, 2 outs in the first inning. He drove in Levi in that first inning. So he is 1 for 1. 1 run is in. Levi King's at first. 1 out. Levi King is on the move. Here's the pitch. The throw is high. The throw down to second. Levi's in there safely. And another stolen base for King. So Otters are aggressive on the base paths today. That is their 3rd stolen base. And Levi King now in scoring position. The pitch was in there for a strike to Brock Sherman. It's 0-1. King at second, 1 out, 4-0 Otters, and that's inside. Almost hit Sherman. But that evens the count at 1-1. 42 pitches here so far through 2 1/3 innings for Eli Hatch. King takes his lead at second. Lindbergh over it from second, keeping him honest. That's another one inside. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Micah Johnson is on deck for Fergus Falls. Two and one. King takes his lead at second. And the pitch. King is on the move. Ground ball to third, picked up. And the tag, nope, they didn't tag Levi King. The throw across to first is high, but making the catch and tag is riding. So King is safe at third, but Sherman was thrown out at first. Good job by Levi King. He was running on the play. And pretty good play, nice play there by MacArthur at third to catch the ball with King coming at him. He tried to take Levi, and Levi, good athletic play to get away from the tag and stay safe at third. So first pitch is out of the zone there to Micah Johnson, and it's 1-0. Runner at third, 2 outs, bottom of the third. Otters are up 4-0. Here's a pitch to Johnson. That one's high. And it's 2-0 to Micah Johnson. Micah struck out swinging his first time up. King takes his lead at third. Ready to go if anything gets by the catcher here. And that one is low. And it's 3-0 to Micah Johnson. Parker Tilke's on deck. So here is Hatch, sets and delivers. That one is in there right down the middle for a strike, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. 4-0, Fergus Falls leading, bottom of the third. 2 outs, Levi King is at third, and the 3-1 pitch, that's low and away, and Micah Johnson draws the 2-out walk. So he is at first, runners at the corners. Now Micah Johnson's hustling around first, and now coming in to score. And a great job by Johnson. The play over at first. He's out at first. But Micah Johnson, he drew the walk. He just went hustling around first. drew the throw over to second and cruising in to score. What would you call it? The delayed steal there off of the walk. Levi King comes cruising in to score. The Otters trade the out for the run, and they put up another run on the board, and now they lead it 5-0, as that will end the inning. A good job by the Otters. They've manufactured a couple of these runs, and they get 2 runs on only 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. We go to the 4th inning, 5-0. Otters with the lead on our Park Region scoreboard. This is Otter Baseball, streaming live on the Fergus Now app and right here on the radio on Channel 977.
Hi, I'm Jay, owner of Fergus Apothecary, downtown Fergus Falls. We like to talk to you out in the open, not through glass, not through a speaker. We treat you as a person, not as an insurance card. So we invite you to come downtown Fergus Falls and speak with us.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Chance to go over 500 after this doubleheader, but they've manufactured 2 runs nicely in this game. In the second, a double by Parker Tilke, a sacrifice bunt by Isaiah Holmes got Tilke to third, and then Cam Wiedrich on the squeeze did a great job of putting it in play down the right side and got Tilke in to score on another sacrifice squeeze. And then just a moment ago in the bottom of the third with Levi King at third, Micah Johnson with 2 outs took the walk, and Micah started trotting down to first but then hustled, and he just kept running to second, and the moment they threw it over to second trying to cut off Micah, Levi King cruised in for the run. Make it 5-0. Leadoff batter, ground up the middle. Wiedrich up with it across the diamond, and the putout is there. 1 down. Good play there by Wiedrich across the field to Powers, and 1 pitch and 1 out for Isaac Ellison, as that was Alex Specht who grounded out, and Holden Riding at the plate for Detroit Lakes, and that pitch is low for a ball. It's 1-0. Riding is 0 for 1, grounded out to second, leading off the second inning. One of the top hitters for the Lakers, batting .409, 889 OPS. He takes it low, and it's 2-0. Ellison has not given up a hit yet. 1 walk. And that one is fouled back below the legs of the umpire. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 49 pitches thrown here so far by Isaac Ellison here in the top of the 4th inning through 3 1/3. And the 2-1 pitch coming. Pitch grounder too short. Wiedrich, nice hop up with it across to Powers. And 2 grounders to Wiedrich and 2 outs here for the Otters to start the top of the 4th. And that'll bring up Max Ducharme. Ducharme is 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the second. Ellison working on a 5 strikeout game. No hits, only 1 walk. First pitch is outside on a fastball. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. 2 outs here, top of the 4th. Fergus Falls 5, Detroit Lakes nothing. It's game 1 of our doubleheader. And the 1-0 pitch up and in. And 2-0. So 2-0, and the pitch from Ellison. Chopped to first. Nice play there by Powers. Took the short hop on the backhand. Trots over to first, steps on the base. 3 unassisted on the putout, and that's a nice, quick 1-2-3 inning for Isaac Ellison. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Otters are up 5-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. You're listening to Otter Baseball on Channel 977, streaming live on the Fergus Now app.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Light powers your day, and with LEDs, every time you turn on a light, it's a chance to save. See how Otter Tail Power Company can help you save at otpco.com/LED.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls, Breckenridge, and Hankinson. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
At least 20 minutes before the next pitch. In fact, it might be a little bit more as the Otters, it's senior day here, senior night, and Otters are going to honor their seniors in between games. But we'll just take a little break and get to a few songs in between games and come back with game 2 of the doubleheader in just a bit after the game. But still more work to be done in this one for the Otters. They're off to a great start. They lead at 5-0 as we're now about to start the bottom of the 4th inning. Isaac Ellison working on a no-hitter. 4 innings, no hits against Detroit Lakes, 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk. And leading off for Fergus Falls will be the center fielder, Parker Tilke. Parker led off the 2nd inning with a double, came around to score. So he's 1 for 1 with a double and a run scored. Junior center fielder. Parker stepped in. Pitcher is Eli Hatch for Detroit Lakes. And Hatch winds and delivers. Check swing. And then he did go. And it'll be a strike. And 0-1 is the count to Parker Tilke. So 0-1 to Tilke. And Hatch winds and comes to the plate. That one's low and away. A ball and a strike. So Hatch, 3 innings pitched coming into this one. 5 earned runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Defense has been good for Detroit Lakes. They have not made any errors as that pitch is low. But the Otters have done a nice job executing some good base running plays, some bunting, taking the extra base, a delayed steal, we'll call it, has given them a couple of those runs. Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a line drive over the head and into the gap, over the head of second baseman Lindbergh into the gap. Tilke coming to second. He's going to go around second and come to third, and Tilke's going to go into third base standing. They're going to throw it over there, kind of a dangerous throw. Tilke, there was no chance he was going to be caught over at third, but he goes in standing to third, a leadoff triple for Parker Tilke. So Parker has 2 extra base hits to lead off innings in this game. And that'll bring up Isaiah Holmes. Isaiah, after Parker doubled to lead off the second, Isaiah had a sacrifice bunt to the right side to bring him home. See if the Otters look to do anything like that here as Holmes takes it inside. And it's 1-0 to Isaiah Holmes, getting the signs from Otter coach Shane Tilke. And it's 1-0, runner at third, nobody out, bottom of the 4th. And that one catches the outside corner for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Tilke is at third. Led off with a triple. 1-1 pitch to Holmes. Off speed, that's high. And it's now 2 balls and a strike. Cam Wiedrich on deck for Fergus Falls. As Tilke takes his lead at third. MacArthur playing even with the bag at third, and that is a kind of a check swing off the handle, foul right side. Isaiah shook his head, maybe didn't like that he swung at that one. That was way up and in, but it'll even the count at 2-2. And here comes the pitch from Hatch, and that one is high, and that'll bring the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Hatch has got to think he's coming into the zone. They don't want to give up any more base runners here to start the inning. So Holmes steps in, full count, and here's the pitch. That one is outside, and good job by Isaiah Holmes. He's on base with a walk. And the Otters start with a couple base runners at the corners with nobody out. And that'll bring up Cam Wiedrich. Really a good job by Cam, his first time up with Tilke at third base in the second inning. Squeeze bunt, he got it down going to the right side, and Tilke was able to cruise in and score on the sacrifice RBI bunt. So here's the pitch to Wiedrich. On the move is Holmes. They throw it right back to the pitcher, and Holmes goes into second and steals it easily. So great time to run, obviously, with runners at the corners, and that's what they do. They throw it hard back to the pitcher. The pitcher cuts it off to make sure the runner from third doesn't come in to score. But an easy stolen base there for Isaiah Holmes, the Otters' fourth stolen base of the game. There's a fly ball off the bat of Wiedrich to left field. Backing up Sweary. He's under it. Makes the catch, tagging, and coming to the plate. And easily scoring is Parker Tilke. Holmes will stay at second. But Wiedrich gets the job done and gets another run in. So Cam, 2 RBIs in the game with 2 sacrifice hits, 1 sacrifice bunt, a sacrifice fly. He's got a pair of RBIs. And Parker Tilke has a pair of runs scored in the game. And the Otters up their lead to 6-0 on our Park Region Service Beyond the Connection scoreboard. Here's the replay on our... Oh, he's on third. No replay, excuse me. Got our wires crossed there a little bit. Getting over to third, though, was Isaiah Holmes. So good base running play there by Holmes to get over to third. And with 1 out, turning the bunt and laying it down is Larson. Hustling in. Holmes, they scoop it. They go to the plate, and he is safe at home. Took a little while to make the call, but a bunt down the third baseline. Holmes came to the plate. A good play by MacArthur. He scooped it up with his glove and flipped it with his glove to the catcher, Crump. But getting in there underneath was Isaiah Holmes. And the Otters get the run of Fielder's Choice RBI. In fact, we're going to call that a bunt single for Logan Larson. I'm not an official score, but that's what I'm going to go with here for Logan. And the Otters are now up 6-0. And Larson is on the move. Here's the throw down to second. Another stolen base for the Otters. Their 5th steal of the game. Logan Larson, his 2nd stolen base of the game. And it's, check that. It is 7-0 Otters with Isaiah's run there. And runner at second and 1 out. Otters looking for more with Karsten Froning at the plate. It's an 0-1 count to Froning. Larson takes his lead at second. Pop up, and that is right around home plate, looking to be in foul territory, and unable to make the catch was Corbin Crump. And that'll be an error on Crump. First error of the game for Detroit Lakes. And again, it's not the easiest play here today, as that wind is blowing hard at 20 miles per hour. The ball was hit straight up above him, but he did locate it. He was under it, and it just went off his glove. So new life here for Froning. It's an 0-2 count. Larson is at second. Otters have 2 runs in already here in the bottom of the 4th, and they lead at 7-0. And Hatch sets, looks at second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's high, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Froning, he's 1 for 2. He flew out to right in the first, tripled and scored in the third. And it's 1-2. And here's the pitch. Swing, line drive, base hit to left field. And cutting it off in left field. No, it gets by the left fielder, Sweary. That's going to allow Larson to score easily. And cruising into second base is Karsten Froning. So the single, and it'll be an error on left fielder Zach Sweary. So some of the errors coming back to haunt Detroit Lakes here as it got by Sweary in left field, allowing Larson to come around to score and allowing Froning to get to second base. 8-0 Otters with the lead. And Hunter Powers steps to the plate. Powers is 0 for 1. Popped out to the catcher's first time out. Sacrifice fly in the third. And here's the pitch to Powers. Fly ball to short center field. Specht is coming in, still coming in, and now it's going to drop into the grass, and the wind wreaking havoc on the Laker defense once again. As Specht kept coming in, you had Reiber coming out a little bit, and neither of them really went for it. It should have been Specht's ball all the way coming in from center field, but the wind just pushing it in hard, and no one got to it, and it's going to be a fortunate pop single for Powers as no one got a glove on it. Froning stayed at second as he was kind of tagging up there. So first and second, one out. And here's Levi King, who's had a nice day at the plate so far. The pitch to Levi. Line drive, right field line. It's just going foul, about 7 feet foul down the right field line. And it'll be 0-1. Levi, he's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. He had a 2-out RBI single in the first, came around to score. And then he had a walk, a stolen base. In fact, he's got a pair of steals in the game and a run scored. And he had another run scored in the third. So 1 for 1, a pair of runs scored, a pair of stolen bases, and an RBI for Levi King in this one. Otters up 8-0, and they could be in a position where they could get it up to that 10-run rule territory here if they can keep piling up some hits. It's 0-1 to Levi King, and that one is high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Great year Levi has had in Otter athletics, football field, and the basketball court, now in the baseball field. 3-sport athlete. Here's the pitch. That is pop foul behind home plate, out of play. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Otters have scored in every inning. They 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and 3 in the fourth. And Detroit Lakes has yet to have a hit in this game. Here's the pitch to King. Line drive, left center field. That's going to drop for a hit. And coming around to score is Froning, and another RBI single. Levi King is on base for the 3rd time, and it's now 9-0. Fergus Falls with the lead. A pair of RBIs now in the game for Levi King. And going to second is Hunter Powers. So 9-0, Otters with the lead. First and second with 1 out. And Brock Sherman to the plate. Sherman is 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. And here's the pitch. And that is, catches the outside corner for a strike. And it's no balls and 1 strike. That's pitch number 70 for Eli Hatch, pitcher for Detroit Lakes here this afternoon. And that pitch is inside. Oh, it did catch the inside corner. And it'll be no balls and 2 strikes to Brock Sherman. Powers at second, King at first, 1 out, and the pitch. And there's a low liner, and it's caught, and they throw back to first for the double play. Man, that was a tough one. It was a soft liner to second, and Lindbergh able to catch it right before it touched the ground, and the runners had nowhere to go. They were caught in between, and it'll be a line-out double play. 4-3, the line-out to first on the double play to end the inning. But the Otters get 4 runs. They have their biggest inning as they get 4 runs. And they had 5 hits on the inning. There were 2 errors, and there were 1 left on base. So we go to the 5th inning. It is 9-0. The Otters lead here on our Park Region scoreboard. Back with more right after this.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food. Serving you best.
Otter Tail Minn Dakota Coaches has been the trusted name in transportation for 50 years. Safety, service, and dependability are at the heart of every journey. From local routes to nationwide trips, rely on Otter Tail Coaches for a ride you can trust.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Isaac Ellison pitches, and it is chop foul, and it's 0-1. Isaac, 4 innings pitched, no earned runs, no hits, only 1 walk, and he struck out 5. Just a great day at the mound for Isaac Ellison. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's in there, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Crump is 0-for-1 in the game, struck out looking in the second, and Ellison is ahead of him again here. And here comes the 0-2 pitch inside. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Ellison winds and delivers to Crump. And there's a ground ball to short. Tough play for Wiedrich. Backhand, up with it. Across the way, high throw. And it is unable to stay on the base is Powers. So that's probably going to be an infield single there. A tough play for Wiedrich going deep in the hole. Well, is that a hit? I think that's probably an infield hit. Tough when there's no hits, but I believe that's the first hit of the game for Detroit Lakes. Again, I'm not an official score here. That was going to be a tough play for Wiedrich. Not a ball not struck real hard deep in the hole, and he had to throw it quickly. So leadoff single for Corbin Crump. And coming up to the plate is Mason Erickson. Erickson 0-for-1, struck out looking in the third. And here's the pitch to Erickson, and that one is low. 1 ball and no strikes. So first time in the game that Detroit Lakes has had the leadoff runner reach. And here's the pitch. And that one's low as well, 2-0. Erickson, a .227 hitter on the air. He's the right fielder. At first base is Corbin Crump. Crump has not stolen a base this year. Hasn't looked to run yet. Not going to run this time. And swing and a miss. And it's 2-1 now to Mason Erickson. Zach Sweary is on deck for Detroit Lakes. Top of the 5th, 9-0 Otters lead. Runner at first, nobody out for DL. And the pitch. That's in there for a strike. Count evens at 2-2. Pitch count at 57. And that was and that one is inside 3-2. The official scoring looks like it was an error, going to be an error on the throw by Wiedrich, so still no hits for Detroit Lakes. I'll change that on my book here. And Erickson at the plate, full count runner goes, and that's a blooper right side, and that is going to reach the outfield for a base hit. Now it gets by a couple, both Otter defenders, and coming around to score is, for the first run for Detroit Lakes, coming around to score is Corbin Crump. That was a blooper right side off the fists, and with the runner going, a little bit of confusion, and that'll be, I don't know if that was an error out there in right field or not, or it just took a funny hop and got away, but it'll be a single for Mason Erickson. He gets to second, and Sweary is at the plate now. First run of the game for Detroit Lakes makes it 9-1. Sweary swings and misses at the first pitch, and it's 0-1. So that is officially the first hit of the game for Detroit Lakes. And swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Sweary. Sweary's 0-for-1, struck out swinging in the third. But the Lakers getting something going here with the bottom of their order. Number 7 batter Crump gets on the error, and then Erickson with the bloop base hit as Sweary takes that one inside, and it's 1-2. Griff Lindbergh, top of the order on deck for DL. And the pitch. And there's a high chopper right in front of the plate. Scooped up by Sherman. They go to first, and they get the out. Nice play there by Sherman. And it took a chop hop right in front, a high hop right in front of home plate. And good job. Brock Sherman popped up, got to the ball, and made a good throw over to Powers and retired Sweary. 2-3 on the putout. Advancing to third is Mason Erickson. And Lindbergh now at the plate. That's inside, almost hit him. Got out of the way, and it's a ball and no strikes. Griff Lindbergh, second baseman, 0 for 2, grounded to short, and reached on an error in the third before he was stranded. And the 1-0 pitch, that's outside. And it's 2-0. Top of the fifth, 9-1. Otters with the lead. DL with 1 run in, their first run of the game. Runner at third and 1 out. 2-0 pitch to Lindbergh, and that one's low. So 3-0. Only 1 walk in the game so far for Isaac Ellison. 1 walk and 1 hit given up. But this is, I think it's the first time he's been down 3-0 in the count. Here's the pitch to Lindbergh, and that one is low. It gets by Sherman. Now hustling in, trying to score, and coming in easily to score the run on the wild pitch and the walk, and coming in to score is Mason Erickson. So a pair of runs in now for Detroit Lakes here in the top of the fifth. That makes it 9-2. Otters still up big. Oh, did I make a mistake there? Let's see. Huh, I thought that was ball 4, but I could have put a lot of money on that as ball 4, but it doesn't matter because that pitch is low and away, and that will be ball 4, the second walk of the game for Isaac Ellison. So first signs of Ellison laboring here a little bit as the walk puts Lindbergh at first. 1 out, top of the fifth. Otters are up 9-2, and Easton Reiber coming to the plate. So Reiber is 0 for 1 in the game, reached on an error in the first, walked in the third, so he's been on base both times. And the pitch, runner on the move, and there's a hit and run, base hit right side into right field, and advancing from first to third will be Griff Lindbergh, and now runners at the corners for Detroit Lakes. A hit for Reiberg. Off the handle a little bit, and the Lakers have done a good job hitting and running. They got the defense on the move with some base runners moving, and they find the hole on that right side a few times. So runners at the corners now with 1 out. And the top hitter is the 3-4-5 coming up here for Detroit Lakes. Cale MacArthur is up. MacArthur's 0 for 2. Struck out looking in the first, flew out to right to end the third. Here's the pitch. And that is outside for a ball, 1-0. MacArthur, one of the top run producers for DL. He's the only Laker with a home run this year. And swing and a miss. He was a little off balance on that one. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So here's the pitch, runner moving from first. See it up. They throw it. They will throw it down to second. That throw is wide of second baseman, but on the double steal coming in to score is Lindbergh. So 3 runs are in now for Detroit Lakes. Stolen base for Reiber, double steal, stolen base for Lindbergh. Not sure if the Otters executed that one the way they were hoping to. And a run comes in. And it's now 9-3 with a runner on second. 1 out here in the top of the fifth. It's Cale MacArthur at the plate, and the count is 1-2. Ellison sets and delivers, and that's in there for a strike, and he strikes out. Yeah, it wasn't the emphatic punch out there that you expect from the umpire, and MacArthur slowly walking off the plate, so that is a strikeout looking for MacArthur. So big strikeout there for Ellison. And first pitch to Specht is outside, and it's 1-0. Yeah, the umpire on that called third strike just kind of gave the casual strike like it was maybe the first strike, not the punch out. So everyone kind of looked around for a moment, and It was strike 3, and now the 1-0 pitch is low to Alex Specht, and it's 2-0. So Lakers, without getting a hit in the first 4 innings, they put 3 runs on the board here in the 5th. Otters lead at 9-3, trying to put an end to this inning, but that one's low and away, and it's 3-0. So Ellison starting to struggle to find the zone here a little bit. Runner at second, 2 out. Top of the 5th. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Runner's on the move, and it's in there for a strike. Throw down the third, and he is safe. Man, that's a risky play for Detroit Lakes on a 3-0 count with 2 outs, down 6. They steal third, and man, that was a little too close for comfort for DL. Pretty good throw down there, but the tag just late. But getting in there to steal third is Reiber. So a runner at third. Now a wild pitch would score a run. And here's the pitch, and that's a blooper down the right side. It's going to be foul. And that'll bring the count to 3-2. Up to 78 pitches here now for Isaac Ellison. And Ellison trying to get out of this 5th inning. 3 runs are in, but the Otters are up 9-3. And here's the pitch. There's a blooper right side that's going to drop for a hit, and another run's going to score for the Lakers. So they put up 4 in this inning. That's an RBI single for Alex Specht. As coming in to score is Easton Reiber. So 4 runs are in. And now Shane Tilke, well, is he coming out for a meeting? Nope, maybe not. Tilke was throwing a ball back out to the ump of the Otter infield, ready to come in to meet for a moment, but I think Shane's going down to get someone's going down to get the ball down the right side there. Okay. So no mound meeting. Runner at first. 2 out. 4 runs in for the Lakers. It is 9-4 Fergus Falls here in the top of the 5th. And at the plate is Holden Riding. And the pitch grounder too short. Wiedrich has it. Goes to second. Force out, and that'll end the inning. Good play by Wiedrich with Micah Johnson covering. 6-4 on the putout. But the Lakers put a dent into the Otter lead. They put up 4 here in the 5th. That's 4 runs. And it was 3 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left on base. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Otters lead it 9-4 on our Park Region scoreboard. This is Otter Baseball streaming live on the Fergus Now app and right here on the air on channel 977.
Hi, I'm Jay, owner of Fergus Apothecary, downtown Fergus Falls. We like to talk to you out in the open, not through glass, not through a speaker. We treat you as a person, not as an insurance card. So we invite you to come downtown Fergus Falls and speak with us.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you
where to eat.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls and Grand Forks is your shopping stop for America's 3 favorite truck brands, Ford, Ram, and GMC. Whether you're towing, hauling, or just enjoying the open road, we have a truck for you. Half, 3/4, and 1 ton, there's a truck for every job. Stop and visit or shop any of our stores at NelsonAutoCenter.com. Nelson Auto Center, Fergus Falls and Grand Forks.
For the Lakers, he's given up 8 hits to the Otters today. Micah Johnson leading things off for the Otters, and a little roller to third. Up with it is MacArthur across the way. The throw is wide and gets by the first baseman Riding, and Micah Johnson's going to get to second base, and it'll be an error on Cale MacArthur over at third. So Micah Johnson reaches on the fielding error to start the 5th inning. He'll be on second base, and that'll bring Parker Tilke to the plate. So Tilke coming up. Parker had really a nice day at the plate. He's led off both previously, the 2 times he was up, doubled and came around to score, tripled and came around to score. And Micah Johnson takes his lead at second. Otters now, they were up 9-0. They're up 9-4. They'd like to get some runs here and get that lead back up a little bit higher as Tilke takes it outside, and it's 1-0. Eli Hatch coming into this inning, 4 innings, 9 runs, 8 hits, 4 walks, 1 strikeout. And here's the pitch in there for a strike. And it's 1-1. Otters play next on Thursday, a doubleheader at West Fargo. Of course, they'll play next in a little bit. This is a doubleheader. This is game 1 of the doubleheader. There's a shot to right side and softly hit into right field for a base hit. Johnson's going to come around to score. Otters will get their 10th run of the game. And another hit and an RBI for Parker Tilke. Parker's got a single, double, triple in the game today. Micah Johnson comes around to score, and it's now 10-4. Otters get another run here in the bottom of the 5th. Lead it by 6, and that'll bring up Isaiah Holmes. Isaiah, 2 plate appearances, no official at-bats. He sacrificed bunt in the 2nd, and then he walked and came around to score in the 4th. Tilke takes his lead at first, and they throw over to first. He gets back safely. Isaiah, a .263 hitter on the year. 7 runs, 7 RBIs, 970 OPS. Another throw over to first, and Tilke gets back. Otters have been aggressive on the base paths today. 5 stolen bases on the game. And the pitch, Tilke is on the move. Throw down to second. And another stolen base for Fergus Falls, the 6th of the game. Parker Tilke with the stolen base. The pitch was a strike to Holmes. So into scoring position goes Tilke. And the count is now 0-1 to Isaiah Holmes. So here is the pitch. And that's in for a strike on the outside corner, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. So Holmes trying to get back in this at bat, 0-2, and Tilke takes the lead at second. That pitch is up and away, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. That's the 80th pitch of the game for Eli Hatch and the Lakers. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Otters are up 10-4. And the 1-2 pitch, ground ball right side, and that gets under the glove of Riding into right field. And coming around to score from second base is Parker Tilke, 3rd time he has scored in the game. And it's now 11-4. The Otters with the lead, extending their lead. And RBI single there for Holmes. Maybe a play that Riding probably felt he should have made, but a tough one to say, tough one either way. So Holmes is at first. Otters are up 11-4, still nobody out. And coming to the plate now will be Cam Wiedrich. Cam, 2 plate appearances, no official at-bats, both sacrifices. Really nice sacrifice squeeze. Bunt in the 2nd for an RBI, and then another RBI with a sacrifice fly. And the throw over to first. Oh, it's a pinch hitter. And it is Brant Sherman at the plate batting for Cam Wiedrich here. So Brant Sherman is at the plate. Brant batting .360 on the year for the Otters. Now the runner's on the move. And the throw down to second and sliding in safely is Isaiah Holmes. So Holmes with a stolen base, his 2nd steal of the game, 7th steal of the game for the Otters. Runner at second now with nobody out. And Brant Sherman pinch hitting. And that one is high, and it's 2-0. Logan Larson is on deck as the top of the order coming around here in the bottom half of the fifth. Hatch sets, and the pitch. That's a high pop-up left side coming over MacArthur, and he will have room, and he dropped it again. Another error on a pop-up by Detroit Lakes. So they had one earlier with catcher Corbin Crump. MacArthur came over, thought he was under it, looking up in that high sky and the wind blowing hard, went into his glove and popped out. So new life for Sherman, and it's 2-1. So second error of the game on Detroit Lakes. And big lead and on the move, running to third, but it's fouled off. Big lead for Holmes, and he broke towards third, but it was fouled by Sherman, and the count is now 2-2. Fergus Falls 11, Detroit Lakes 4. This is game one of our doubleheader on senior night here in Fergus Falls at Legion Field at D Lagoon Park. 2-2 is the count. And here's the pitch. And laying off-speed pitch. Good take by Sherman outside, and it's full count at 3-2. So full count, and the pitch runner goes. Chopper foul down third base. Holmes aggressively hopping around, and he's broke for third 2 different times on this at bat, but Sherman's fouled it off, and the count stays full at 3-2. Nobody out. Bottom of the fifth. 2 runs are in, and that one's high, and another base runner. Now the Otters are getting in a position where if they can. Logan Larson is up. He would be the, if he can come around to score, you'd be looking at a possible 10-run rule here in this fifth inning as Sherman gets the walk. So first and second, nobody out. Bottom of the fifth, Otters up 11-4. Logan Larson at the plate. Logan's 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, a pair of runs, a pair of steals, and an RBI in the game. He turns to bunt and bunts it foul to the left side, and it's 0-1. So nice game for Logan Larson. Got his third and fourth steals of the game, of the year, I should say, and he's now scored 16 runs on the year, only behind Levi King in that category. And the 0-1 pitch. Chopper down the first base side. It is fielded, and now mishandled and hustling down, and Larson's going to be safe. Man, a costly error there. Easy play there for Riding, and he just bobbled it, mishandled it, couldn't pick it up, and Larson speedy down the first baseline. He'll reach on an error. Third error of the game for Detroit Lakes. And now the bases are loaded. The winning run is Larson on first, as that would be the 10-run situation. And Carson Froning is at the plate. The pitch to Froning, and that is up and in for a ball. That's pitch number 90 of the game for Eli Hatch. Froning 2 for 3 with a triple single and a pair of runs scored. And the pitch to Froning, and that one's low, and it's 2-0. Froning flew out to right in the first, tripled in the third and scored, singled and scored in the fourth. 2-out pitch with the bases loaded. That one's in there for a strike, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Otters have scored in every inning of this game. And the pitch, the chopper left side picked up, and they're going to come to the plate. They get the force at home, and no other play available. Good play there by third baseman Cale MacArthur. 5-2 on the putout. So they cut off Holmes coming to the plate. Sherman advances to third. Larson to second, and Carson Froning is at first. That'll bring up Hunter Powers, the first baseman. Powers is 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. Here's the pitch from Hatch. Swing popped up left side, hustling over is MacArthur, but that is going to get out of play left side, and it'll be 0-1. Powers popped to catcher in the first inning, sacrificed fly in the third, and singled and was stranded in the fourth. Otters have scored in every inning, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 2 in so far here in the fifth. The pitch to Powers, swing chopper to first, but that is going to go just foul, so it'll be 0-2. Lakers didn't have a hit in the first 4 innings, but then they put together 3 hits and 4 runs in the fifth. And that's where we're at, 11-4, bottom of the fifth. Otters have the bases loaded with 1 out. The count is 0-2 to the number 3 batter, first baseman Hunter Powers, lefty. And Hatch comes to the plate, and that's inside. Did it hit him? No, it didn't. It gets away from the catcher, and coming in to score, the 12th run of the game is Brant Sherman. Going to third is Logan Larson, and going to second and Karsten Froning. So the winning run, which would be the 10-run rule run, is on second base, and it's a 1-2 count to Powers. Now Eli Hatch will go to the windup, and the pitch, that's way outside, and it's 2-2. So good answer here by the Otters after DL put up 4 in the fifth. They've got 3 runs in to answer here in the bottom of the fifth, and trying to tack on more and possibly end the game. Here's the pitch to Powers, and swing and a miss, struck him out. Kind of low, you could see Powers trying to hold back. Kind of knew he was in trouble as he was swinging, and he strikes out swinging. So 2 down now. And that'll bring up Levi King. Great game Levi has had. 2 for 2 with a couple runs scored, a couple RBIs, and a couple stolen bases and a walk. Pitch to King. Levi rips it, but it's foul down the left field line. And that'll be a loud strike. And that is pitch number 100 for Eli Hatch. Otters with 10 hits in the game. And here's the 0-1 pitch to Levi King. Swing and a chopper. That's foul. A couple about 3-4 feet foul down the third baseline. And Hatch works ahead. And no balls and 2 strikes. 12-4, Fergus Falls leads. And one of our sponsors for this game is West Central Ag Air. They're your local Peterson Farms and LG seed supplier and the right choice to defend your crops. That's West Central Ag Air. 0-2 pitch to Levi King. That's outside. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Levi. He's been on base every time. And here's the pitch. There, he got him on the outside corner, strike 3. So Hatch able to limit enough damage to keep this game going. He struck out the last 2 batters he faces. Otters get 3 runs in the inning. They get 3 runs on, well, it looks like 3 runs on 2 hits and 2 left on base. And it looks like there was there 2 errors? 3 errors? 3 errors in that half inning. So we go to the 6th inning. Otters are up 12-4 on our Park Region scoreboard. Back with more in just a moment.
I'm Tad Butke, your dedicated business sales consultant at Park Region. Whether you're looking to optimize your operations, scale your business, or find tailored solutions, I'm here to help you achieve your goals.
Reach out to Tad today at 218-998-2000 for Park Region to go beyond the connection.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Olson Oil Cart Express of Fergus Falls is your one-stop shop. Propane tank refills? Check. Diesel for your trucks? Check. Gas, propane exchange, and bulk delivery? Check, check, and check. Olson Oil Cart Express, supporting Otter sports.
All the runs came in the 5th inning for Detroit Lakes after not getting a hit the first 4 innings. The Lakers put together a rally and got 4 runs. It was 9-0 going into the 5th. They scored 4 to make it 9-4. Otters answered with 3 in the bottom of the 5th to make it 12-4. And they'll have Max Ducharme, Corbin Crump, and Mason Erickson. Their 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up in this inning. So, number 7, Max Ducharme. He's 0 for 2 in the game. Struck out swinging in the 2nd. Grounded out to 1st in the 4th. So Isaac Ellison winds in the pitch. There's a high chopper up the middle. Wiedrich plays the 2nd hop. Zips the throw across. And the Otters retire Ducharme. Good play for Wiedrich up the middle. Had to wait patiently for that 2nd hop and a good throw to 1st. And there's 1 down. And Corbin Crump, the catcher, to the plate. Crump is 0 for 1 with 0 for 2, with a run scored. And here's the pitch to Crump, and he fouls it off the catcher's glove. 0-1. Crump struck out looking in the 2nd. He reached on an error in the 5th and came around to score one of those 4 runs the Lakers put up. Crump digs into the batter's box. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Ellison. There's a fly ball to short center field. Hustling in is Tilke, and Tilke makes the play. Easy play, cruising in from center field for Parker Tilke. And a couple quick outs for Fergus Falls, just what the doctor ordered for Isaac Ellison. So 2 quick outs, and that'll bring up Mason Erickson to the plate. Erickson 1 for 2 in the game with a double, a run scored, and an RBI. 2 outs, top of the 6th. The Otters up 12-4. And the pitch on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. 85 pitches right now is where we're at for Isaac Ellison. Next one, fisted back foul, and Ellison gets ahead quickly at no balls and 2 strikes. Remember, we'll have more coverage of Otter baseball next Thursday when Perham comes to town. Right here, streaming live on the Fergus Now app and on Channel 977. 5 o'clock first pitch. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 on the outside corner, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Isaac Ellison as he racks up his 7th strikeout of the game and a 1-2-3 top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We're on to the bottom of the 6th. The Otters are up 12-4. This is Otter Baseball, streaming live on the Fergus Now app on Channel 977.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Otters Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Otters Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
What's the record for the biggest walleye? What's the record for the largest goldfish? Wait, what? Never release aquatic animals or plants into our lakes and rivers. Help protect our waters and native species.
Business systems can be frustrating. Don't take it out on the printer. Let Liberty Business Systems simplify the chaos. With automated printing services and flexible contracts, you'll never feel frustrated or stuck with your business systems. Liberty Business Systems.
Transparent, flexible, fearless.
On the year, he has 4 strikeouts. 0-1 on the year in that very small sample size of 5 innings, a 12.6 ERA, a 3.2 WHIP. So 12-4, and coming up for the Otters will be Brock Sherman, Micah Johnson, and Parker Tilke. Eli Hatch ends his afternoon with 5 innings, 12 runs. I don't have the exact total of how many of those were earned. And 10 hits and 5 walks in the game as he left with over 100 pitches. It's Brock Sherman leading off the bottom of the sixth for the Otters. And he takes it low for a ball. And it's 1-0 to Sherman. Sherman 1 for 3 in the game. RBI double in the first. There's a pitch, blooper, short left center field, hustling over. Good catch, though. Good running catch. Looked like it might have a chance for a little bit, but running over with a backhand catch is Alex Specht from center field. And Sherman flies out to center to lead off the sixth. And now there'll be a pinch hitter for Micah Johnson. It'll be Casey Cole batting. So Casey Cole gets the at-bat here for Micah Johnson. Casey Cole, senior, one of the seniors going to be honored here in between games on senior night. Takes a pitch, swing and a miss, off-speed pitch. Cole swings through that. So Casey Cole steps in, and the 0-1 pitch, off speed. That's in there for a strike. Good pitch there by Ducharme, and he gets ahead of Cole. It's 0-2. Pinch hitter on deck for the Otters is John Dent, ready to hit for Parker Tilke on deck. That one's low to Cole. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Coach Tilke looking to get some of those senior bench players some at bats here on senior day. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Cole goes down swinging. And 2 out, nobody on. And now batting for Parker Tilke will be John Dent. So John Dent at the plate, senior. 154 on the year, couple runs, and 5 RBIs for the Otters. And Ducharme looks in. 2 out, nobody on, bottom of the 6th. And there's a line drive, left field base hit. So John Dent gets a hit, misplayed out in left field, but Dent won't be able to advance any further. So good to see John Dent come in and get a hit. And that'll bring up Isaiah Holmes, the number 8 batter. Isaiah Holmes 1 for 2 with a walk and a sacrifice bunt. He's scored a run as well. Fouls it off behind home plate. Look out behind us in the parking lot there. That one went right over our heads over the press box. 0-1 here to Holmes. 12-4 Otters with the lead. Bottom of the 6th inning. 2 out, runner at first. 0-1 pitch, and it's inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Isaiah Holmes. Isaiah sacrificed bunt in the 2nd, walked and scored in the 4th, singled in the 5th. 1-1 pitch, base hit right center field. That's headed towards a gap. Dent is around 2nd. It's going to be extra bases for Holmes. Dent is going to come around 3rd. He's going to score. Holmes is trucking all the way to 3rd. It's going to be a stand-up triple for Isaiah Holmes with a right center field gap. As Dent comes around to score. And the Otters could end the game here if they can get Holmes in. And Cam Wiedrich coming to the plate. Nice game for Isaiah Holmes. That's an RBI triple. And Cam Wiedrich, his 2 plate appearances, both RBI sacrifices. Sacrifice squeeze bunt in the 2nd, sacrifice fly in the 4th. That pitch is low and away, and it's 1-0. 13-4. The Otters get another run here. The game would be over. A 10-run rule would be in play. Holmes takes his lead at 3rd, 1-0 count to Wiedrich, and here's the pitch. That's inside. And 2 balls and no strikes. Logan Larson is on deck for the Otters. And the 2-0 pitch to Wiedrich. Well out of the strike zone, up and away, and it's now 3-0. So 3-0 here to Cam Wiedrich, Otter shortstop. And that pitch, it does catch the strike zone, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Holmes is at third. Otters up 13-4, bottom of the 6th, 2 outs, and it's a 3-1 count to Cam Wiedrich. The set and the pitch, and that's outside, ball 4. So Wiedrich will take first base. And Logan Larson will now bat. And Logan, 4 plate appearances, is 1 for 3. Walked, stole a base, and scored in the first. Grounded out to second in the second. RBI single and scored in a steal in the 4th. And reached on an error in the 5th and was stranded. Base hit would win the game. Now on the move, Wiedrich is going to steal second without a throw. 8th steal of the game for the Otters. And it's a 1-0 count. That was outside to Logan Larson. That'll take the force play away at second base on any slow rolling grounder. The 1-0 pitch to Larson, that's inside, and it's 2-0. Ducharme struggling to find the zone here a little bit in the back half of this inning. So 2-0 to Logan Larson. And the pitch, there's a slicing drive to left center. That's in for a hit, and that will end the game. It'll be an RBI single to end the game for Logan Larson. As I don't know, the couple runs come in to score. I don't know if the game ends on the 10th run or not. Yeah, it does come. Wiedrich comes around to score. It'll be a 2-run double for Logan Larson as Holmes comes in to score and Wiedrich comes in to score, and that'll do it. Otters 10-run Detroit Lakes in game 1 of the doubleheader. 15-4 is the final score on our Park Region scoreboard. And we're going to take a break here. We're going to have our Olson Oil Card Express post-game show. And when we come back, we'll name our Quality Player of the Game. Sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Remember, this is game 1 of the doubleheader. So we'll take a break after we finish up with our Olson Oil Card Express post-game show. And then take a little break, listen to some music, and be back for game 2 of our doubleheader. Get the lineups all set for game 2. But Otters win it. They are now 500 on the season. They even their season record at 7-7. They win it 15-4 in 6 innings over Detroit Lake. So we'll take a break, and we'll come back with our Olson Oil Card Express post-game show, a recap, and name our Quality Player of the Game, sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Otters win it 15-4. Back with the post-game show in just a moment.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles 6 times for a great deal at Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Olson Oil Card Express of Fergus Falls is your one-stop shop. Propane tank refills? Check. Diesel for your trucks? Check. Gas, propane exchange, and bulk delivery? Check, check, and check. Olson Oil Card Express, supporting Otter sports.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. From Friday night lights to buzzer-beating shots, these students inspire us all. Just like them, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community, one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Lagoon Park, our Olson Oil Card Express post-game show. And don't go anywhere because this is game 1 of our doubleheader. We'll have game 2 coming up in just a bit. But the Otters win game 1 of the doubleheader. 15-4 is the final score on our Park Region scoreboard. It ended in 6 innings. Otters scored in every single inning that they played in. And they had 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 4 in the fourth, and then 3 apiece in the fifth and the sixth. Had a nice first inning where with 2 outs, Levi King had an RBI single, Brock Sherman an RBI double. Then they were able to manufacture a nice run in the second inning with after a leadoff double by Parker Tilke. Sacrifice bunt by Isaiah Holmes got him to third, and then a squeeze bunt by Cam Wiedrich. RBI got Tilke in, and that made it 3-0. Otters got a couple more in the third. Karsten Froning led off with a triple. Sac fly by Hunter Powers got him in. A walk by Levi King. Stolen base. He was able to come around to score on a delayed steal. And then the Otters got four more runs in the fourth. Then Detroit Lakes got a dent into the Otters' lead. It was 9-0 going into the fifth. Isaac Ellison was cruising, hadn't given up a hit through 4 innings. Then Detroit Lakes able to get the bat on the ball a bit, and they were able to bring in 4 runs. Now, Otters did have 5 errors in the game, and only one of those 4 runs were earned. But that made it 9-4. But a good answer by the Otters. In the bottom of the fifth, they got 3 runs, and then in the sixth, they got 3 more runs. All of those coming with 2 outs to end the game in the 6th inning. Final score, 15-4 on the Park Region scoreboard. So let's name our quality player of the game, sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Lake Country Graphics is your apparel source for personalized printed or embroidered clothing and accessories. Go to yourapparelsource.com/Lake Country Graphics. That's Lake Country Graphics in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027. That's 998-4027. So our quality player of the game today, a lot of solid offensive performances all the way through for the Otters, as Fergus Falls with 12 hits in the game today. And I think we're going to go honorable mention. Parker Tilke had a great game today. The center fielder played a real strong center field with his speed out there. And in his 3 at-bats, he had a single, a double, and a triple. He came around to score all 3 times, had an RBI as well, and had a stolen base as well. So give credit. Parker Tilke was a big-time offensive spark plug for Fergus Falls today. But our quality player, going to go to senior pitcher Isaac Ellison. Isaac was really lights out for the majority of the game. Like we said, he cruised through the first 4 innings and didn't give up a hit. The only base runner that the Lakers had was on an error, the second batter of the game that was stranded, and 4 no-hit innings, shutout innings. Then the Lakers able to mount a rally in the 5th, but the Otters were already up 9-0 at that point and put up 4, but then Isaac came back 1, 2, 3 in the 6th, and the Otters end up winning 10-run rule 15-4 through 6. Isaac Ellison, 6 innings pitched. He struck out 8, 1 earned run, 3 hits, 3 walks. Great game for the senior pitcher, and no other Otter had to come in to pitch, which is huge when you have a doubleheader and another doubleheader coming up on Thursday. So Isaac Ellison, the senior pitcher, he's our quality player of the game, sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. So they're just about to recognize the seniors here on senior night. So we'll recap that here in just a moment. We're going to take a break. I'm going to run down and try to get the lineup cards for Game 2 of the doubleheader with Fergus Falls and Detroit Lakes ready to play Game 2 here coming up. Otters improved to 7-7, winning Game 1 15-4. Lakers fall to 1-14 on the season. So we're going to take a short little intermission here with our doubleheader. We'll get some of the hit music on from Channel 977 in the meantime and give us 10-15 minutes, and we should be back soon for Game 2 of our doubleheader. So don't go anywhere. This is Jason Retzloff. Thanks to Dave Bishop, production on our live stream on the Fergus Now app, and we'll be back with Game 2 of our doubleheader on Channel 977 with Otter Baseball in just a few minutes.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Otter Tail Minn-Dakota Coaches has been the trusted name in transportation for 50 years. Safety, service, and dependability are at the heart of every journey. From local routes to nationwide trips, rely on Otter Tail Coaches for a ride you can trust.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Scott DeBrito. I had the privilege of wearing the Otter uniform. Today, I have the privilege of representing FM Bank here in Fergus Falls. Show your Otter pride with our Otter debit card. Stop in and see us or visit our website at mybankfm.com.
What's your number?
We drove 5.2 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls, Breckenridge, and Hankinson. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food. Serving you best.
Light powers your day, and with LEDs, every time you turn on a light, it's a chance to save. See how Otter Tail Power Company can help you save at otpco.com/LED.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you
where to eat. Thank you for joining us for a special KBRFradio.com video streaming production. Tonight's game is proudly brought to you by Otter Tail Power Company and your Otter Tail Power Company pregame show. Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard. Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show. Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region Healthcare timeouts. Oxted Plumbing and Heating with your game time and temperature. Viking Cafe and Fergus Falls Apothecary with your keys to the game. Olson Oil Card Express and your Olson Oil Card Express postgame show. Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota player of the game. Nelson Auto Center and your Nelson starting lineups. Otter Tail County AIS Task Force. Liberty Business Systems. Service Food of Fergus Falls Monument. Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapy Incorporated. Otter Tail Coaches and